All right, here we are back again working on the kayak camping trailer build that I've got going on. Last week we added the DIY rod tubes. We put 2 of them on the side of the trailer. They turned out great. They hold a ton of rods and reels. If you missed that video, you can go check it out. It'll be on my homepage. This week I want to share with you guys my hidden air conditioning unit that I just installed on the kayak camping trailer. Y'all stick around. All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's TJ. Welcome to Kayak USA. This week, like I said, we're gonna be working on the kayak camping trailer. Actually, we're not working on it. I did all the work already, and I just wanna share with you how I was able to install a hidden air conditioning unit that cools down the tent during these hot summer days. It turned out great so far. It's completely hidden. I can't wait to show you guys how I did it. We're gonna be running it today with a little generator that I picked up. We're gonna unfold the tent. I'm gonna give you a full walk around, show you exactly how I built it. I filmed some of it, but it didn't turn out really well because I wasn't sure what I was building while I was building, and I was kind of just winging it until I figured out how I wanted to do this. So I made a lot of changes. If you've been following along, I know I said that I was gonna add the air conditioning unit up front and run tubes and all this stuff, but after I did a lot of research on how guys are doing this and the failures that happen out there, I found a better way, and it works out great so far. So let me show you exactly what I did. All right, so I'll show you guys a walk around real quick and see if you can figure out exactly where I hid the air conditioning unit. And I'll show you up front, this is my storage box, and I originally planned just to put it in here, but as you can see, this is just my straps and chalks and stuff like that. It is not in there. We got the rod tubes. I cut my ramps down so that they fit a little bit better with these rod tubes. They were kind of sticking out, but they still work great for loading the four-wheelers and the motorcycles on the trailer whenever we're not taking the kayak. But so let's walk around here. There's my rod tubes. They look great. And as you can see, right here, I've got a Plano Sportsman box. And it's mounted to my Billy Bars rack. That's what this rack is right here. If you're wondering, this rack setup is actually the Billy Bars rack system that is usually on my truck, but I've got it mounted on the trailer for this build. But as you can see, there's a Plano box, and it's got vents cut in. And this is wire mesh that I put in here. But when you open it up, let's get it open. Sorry for this bright light peeping in. The sun's just now peaking. It's pretty early in the morning. Let me climb up on the trailer. So as you can see, I built this frame, and I'll throw some pictures up. I took some pictures along the way of this little frame that I built because I wanted to make this air conditioning unit removable when we wasn't going to take it. Like during the fall months and the winter months when we're camping, we're not going to need to haul this with us. So I made it so I can pull out these 2 nuts right here. There's one here and then one on the other side, and I just got them bolted into the track system on the Billy Bars. So you pull those 2 off and you can pull the whole unit off the trailer. Let me climb up here. So when you open this, you see that I have a window unit that is actually strapped, and it's kind of a mess in there right now, but you can see that this is just a regular window unit. I got it at Lowe's for 150 bucks. But if you look close, there's a cutout on this box, and it's cut out right up against the tent, so the air conditioning unit, you can actually see the face of it right here. And what I did that for was when we fold this tent out, let me back up. So when we fold this tent out, it folds all the way out like this, and there's a window right at the back of the tent, right here beside this Sportsman box, or the Plano box, or whatever you want to call it. And the air conditioner is already facing into the window. So what happens is we fold this tent up, I drop the cord out of the box, we plug up the AC unit, and the AC unit is already at the window. And what makes this really cool is when we pop the tent up, it's got these awning things that come over the windows like the little rain guards, and they completely cover this tent. And then we take this lid and fold it over, and it blocks the top half of the window, and all of the intake and cold air is coming into the tent and from the tent. So there's nothing getting sucked from the outside. There's no chance at this thing freezing over, because what I noticed a lot of people fail at when they're doing this is they try to run those tubes, and they hook the tubes right to the front of the AC unit. And what it does is it causes a cold spot, or like a frozen spot, right in one circle, and the air conditioner doesn't work properly. They freeze over, they don't blow cold air, they get, you know, they just don't work the way they're supposed to work because you're not using them the way they're designed to be used. This way, this AC unit is running the way it's supposed to be used in the side of a house window or a camper window or whatever. So I did have to make some changes to the box. Let me climb down here. So when I first did it, I only put these 2 portholes on the side because you know, you've got to get air into these fins on the back for the coils. And it still was not blowing as cold as I wanted it to, so I added another screen here. I just cut this side of the box out, added that screen, and now it gets plenty of air. There's plenty of airflow. Not to mention, when we run it, you'll see that I fold the top up on the box against the tent, and it gets all the air it can. You know, it's just like it's hanging out outside of a regular window. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put the tripod up real quick. We're gonna pop this tent open, and then we're gonna plug it up to my, I just picked this up too, check it out. We're gonna plug it up to my little generator. And I found this little guy right here. They're on sale on Amazon right now. This is the WEN, the WEN 2000. I picked this thing up for 400 bucks, and it is super quiet. It's like the silent mode or whatever you can put it in, and it runs this air conditioner perfectly. So we're gonna fire this thing up, plug it up, we're gonna pop this tent out, and I'm gonna show you how well this AC works. All right, well, I got the tent popped out. It's not staked down or anything. I'm just doing this for the video, but I've got the generator running, got the air conditioner plugged up, and if you can see in here, let's see if I can show you. You can see how the lid opens up against the window, kind of blocks off the window, and then this flap actually comes down and helps it too. So the AC is now in the window of the tent. And I don't know if you guys can hear it, but this generator, I'll link this thing in the video description below. Listen how quiet it is. So quiet. It gets a little bit louder when you plug up the AC unit, but it's still, I mean, that is the quietest generator I've ever owned. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna climb inside and turn on the air conditioner. I think I'm actually, let me go get a temperature gauge real quick, and I want to show you guys how hot it is in here right now before we turn it on. All right, I just set the temperature gauge in here, and I brought it from inside. It says 82, but it's just now starting to climb up from the inside temperature of the house. So I promise you guys, I'm dripping sweat. It's hotter than 82 in this tent. It'll probably go up here in just a minute even higher, but it's 82 degrees Fahrenheit, 69% humidity right now inside this tent. As you can see, the tent is completely closed besides the door that we're at and the back window. Now let me climb in this hot box and show you how we turn this thing on and operate it. Oh my goodness, it's so freaking hot in here. Let's see what it says now. Yeah, it's already up to 84. Let me climb in here. There's not a lot of light because I don't have the sun shades open. I'll crack it open just a little bit. See if we can get a little bit more light in here that way for you guys. Let's see. There's a little bit of light. I'll zip them up in a minute to keep the air in, but I'll show you it's 84. If you guys can see that, I don't know if you can or not. But now, let's turn on this AC. Okay, so now what we do once we go camping, if I can film this, we unzip this. And yes, I know there's a little bit of a gap here and a little bit of a gap here. But as you can see, the window unit is right in the window. Like, it's perfectly set up. So now we'll just turn this thing, if I can film it. I'm sorry, this is hard to film. Let's go to high cool, which we'll go this way. That's low fan. Low cool. We're gonna kick it up to high cool, aim it straight in. Oh my God, that feels so good already. Now, I'll even leave this so you guys can see that it's blowing all this cold air in. So what I think I'm gonna do is just get me some Velcro fabric or something and put it on the outside of this box so that I can kind of close the gap when we go camping. But the other day when I ran this in the backyard, I ran it for about 20 minutes and it was like an ice box inside this tent. I mean, it was amazing. So for now, I'm just gonna leave it like it is. Let me close up these ceiling holes and we'll see if I can get this thing closed with one hand. There we go. All right, so we're in the tent. I'm probably gonna step out while this thing starts to cool down. And as you can see, it is now 88 degrees inside this tent. But we just kicked on the AC unit. I'm gonna stick this in the corner here. And then we're gonna step outside for a few minutes, come back in and see how cold it gets. Oh my goodness, it is so hot in that tent. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I am just dripping with sweat. But I mean, if you're getting into this rooftop tent stuff and you've never bought one of these before and you're planning on doing it during the summer, if you live south like I do, you're gonna have to have an air conditioner. There's just, you can't, sleeping in one of these things in summertime when it's still 80 something degrees at night, it's just gonna be miserable. You're not gonna enjoy your time. So if you get one of these and you use it during the fall or the winter, it's awesome. Or if you live up north, Colorado and stuff, these things are amazing all year round. Down here, you gotta have an AC unit. But I'll show you how quiet this generator is right now. So I'm not sure how well it's picking up the noise, but it's still super quiet. And that is running the air conditioner on high cool right now. And as you can see, I don't know if you guys can hear the AC running, it's getting plenty of airflow. You can just feel it coming out through my vents. There's no clogs in here. There's nothing to keep it from freezing over or anything like that. And it's been, let's see, we just climbed out of the tent, so let's get a good time for you guys. What time is it? It is 11:10 right now. So we're gonna give it to 11:20. And we're gonna see if the temperature's dropped any. Now it's really hot. It's gonna take a little bit for this air conditioner to cool down. I mean, this tent to cool down because it's just been folded up out here in the yard for the last week and the sun's just been heating up the whole tent. So let's give it about 10 minutes. We'll climb in there and see what the temperature is. All right, so while we're waiting on this tent to cool down for another 10 minutes, I just wanna let you guys know the reason that I did this way and just, you know, go into more depth on why I didn't go with the hoses and stuff. Not only will it freeze up, like I said earlier, and give you all kind of issues with it getting cold, you know, at night and it not being able to kick on during the day, but also me doing this way, I don't have to deal with the hoses. I don't have to deal with anything, you know, fabrication wise. All I had to do was fabricate this plastic cheap Plano box and then make me a way to mount it where I can remove it and put it back on the trailer when I want to. Another reason that I went with this is because if something ever happens to this window unit, I can just get on Marketplace or go back to Lowe's. You know, you can usually find these little tiny, I think this is a 5,000 BTU or something like that, but you can usually find these really cheap. And if this thing ever tears up, I can just swap it out. That I couldn't do if I would have modified this box and took the shell off of it and did all the hoses and stuff. If it tore up on me, I would have to redo all of that work with the next air conditioner unit and start from scratch, basically. So this way, this thing tears up, I can throw another one in here, not be a problem at all. Also, I've been looking at some that also have a heater in it. So they're a little bit bigger, but I still think I could make it work inside this box And if I want to swap that out to where I just keep this permanently mounted next to my tent, I'll have heat during the winter and AC during the summertime. So it'll work out really well. Plus, I love how stealth it is and how it doesn't look like I'm just riding around with a air conditioner, a window unit hanging off the side of my trailer. It looks really good when everything's folded up. And if it wasn't for these vent holes that I made, you wouldn't even know that there's an air conditioner unit or that this box is modified at all. Not to mention there's storage on either side. So the AC unit is only about this wide. So I've got storage on either side. Now I can put in sleeping bags, you know, stuff that you won't mind getting wet if you ride through a rainstorm, because water still can get in these vents and stuff a little bit. So it's not gonna hurt the air conditioner, but you wouldn't wanna put anything in there storing it to get, you know, they can get weathered or wet or anything like that. So we're gonna let this thing cool down for another 5 minutes. It's 11:15. We're gonna give it 5 more minutes, climb in there and see how much the temperature's dropped. All right, it is 11:20. Let me show you guys so you know that I'm not lying. So it's been 10 minutes. Let's climb up in here real quick. Let me grab the camera. We're gonna see how much the humidity has dropped and how much the temperature has dropped. It's hard to do this holding the camera in one hand. So I can already see it from here. I don't know if you guys can. It's 75 degrees and dropping in 10 minutes. It's already down to 75 degrees and 51% humidity. And that's just a matter of 10 minutes. So it doesn't feel 75. It actually feels like it's about 65 degrees in here right now. It feels so good. I know this isn't gonna be super efficient. You know, I know a lot of you guys are gonna complain about the openings next to the AC unit, but it's working great. I'm kind of fogging the camera now because it's so cold, but it's working great. I'm gonna make some modifications to it later on, but I think right now in the summertime, we could stay at 60 degrees in here, no problem at all, and sleep so comfortable. Not to mention when you lay down, I don't know if I can turn the camera around. Let's try. Let's see. So when you lay down in here, the AC just blows. Let's see if I can get comfortable in here. And this is the middle of the day. This AC just blows right across your whole body. So when me and my wife camp in here, we'll be able to be comfortable at night on the river when we're kayak camping, up in the mountains, you know, wherever we're at. We're gonna be nice and cool at night. Let's see if it's dropped anymore. It still says 75. But it's been what, 12 minutes? Oh, spinning the camera around. Yeah, it's been about 12 minutes. So if we give this thing 30 minutes, it's gonna be really cold in here, I promise you guys. Not to mention, you gotta remember, this is a tent, so there's little portholes like this here. So the air is still getting out. So this isn't like a sealed box or anything like that. It's not insulated at all. So for it to drop that amount of temperature that quickly, this is gonna work out great. I love it. All right, y'all, well, that is my hidden AC unit for the rooftop tent. It worked out great. I absolutely love it so far. If you have any ideas for this trailer build, if you're new here and you want to get caught up, I'll put a playlist right in here somewhere. You can click it and get caught up where we're at so far. The next series for this, or the next build for this trailer series, is we're going to add a fold-out table. We're going to add some corner jacks to stabilize this thing a little bit better. And I think we're going to be cutting the rails off of the back of the trailer and building a platform on each side for more storage, and maybe put some roam boxes or something down the side. So I love this thing. I just cut grass this morning and it is getting hot. I'm not gonna let this cold AC go to waste. I think I'm actually gonna climb up there and take me a little afternoon nap or two in the tent in the backyard while we got that cold AC pumping in there. If you guys are new, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and I'll catch you next Thursday at 2 o'clock. Peace.